Hi everyone, and welcome to our weekly portion here at eteachergroup.com. This week's portion is Mikets, and it can be found in the book of Genesis, from chapter 41, verse 1 to chapter 44, verse 17. Let us open the Torah scroll and meet our portion. ויהי מקץ 2 ימים, ופרעה חולם, והנה עומד על היאור. The portion is named Miketz, literally at the end of, because it tells us what happened 2 years after we last left Joseph. Let us understand the first verse together. Vayehi, and it came to pass, Miketz, at the end of, Shnatayim Yamim, 2 full years, Ufar'o, and Pharaoh, Cholem, dreamed, Vehine, and behold, Omed, he stood, Ale'or, by the Nile. This week's portion begins with Pharaoh's dreams, an event which takes place 2 years after Joseph solved the baker and the cupbearer's dreams. Joseph has been in jail, while the cupbearer forgot to mention him to Pharaoh. However, now, Pharaoh has had 2 strange dreams in one night, and none of the Egyptians know how to solve them. In the first he saw 7 fat cows by the Nile, who were eaten by 7 skinny cows. In the second, 7 plump ears of grain were devoured by 7 thin ears of grain. After Pharaoh tells his advisors about his dreams, the cupbearer remembers Joseph and tells Pharaoh about him. Joseph is rushed from jail in order to come before Pharaoh. Joseph indeed does know how to interpret Pharaoh's dreams and explains that there are going to be 7 prosperous years in Egypt, followed by 7 years of hunger. He suggests hoarding grain throughout the land during the 7 good years in order to be able to sustain the people during the 7 bad years. Pharaoh and his advisors are impressed, and Joseph is appointed in charge of Pharaoh's house and the plan of collecting the grain. During the 7 good years, Joseph is married and 2 sons are born to him, Ephraim and Manasseh. Joseph is successful in hoarding grain throughout the land, and the Egyptians have all they need for the 7 years of hunger. People from all the surrounding lands come down to Egypt in order to buy food. The next part of the portion is extremely dramatic, telling us of how Jacob sends his sons down to Egypt in order to break bread. Jacob's 10 older sons, without Benjamin, come to Egypt and are brought before Joseph, whom they do not recognize. Joseph accuses them of being spies, and when they tell him about their family, he says that he will believe them only when they bring their younger brother before him. He takes Simeon and imprisons him as collateral for Benjamin. The brothers realize that they are worthy of this punishment because they sold Joseph, but they do not know that Joseph understands what they are saying. When returning to Canaan without Simeon, the brothers discover that the money which they paid for the food was returned to their packs, and they are very fearful. When the brothers tell Jacob of what has happened, he is extremely upset and refuses to send Benjamin with them for fear that something might happen to him. However, when food is scarce again, he agrees to send Benjamin after Judah promises him that he will guarantee his safety. When the brothers arrive in Egypt, they first fearfully tell Joseph of how their money was returned to them. Joseph tells them that this was a gift from their God and they should not be afraid. When Joseph sees Benjamin, he cannot help himself and quickly retires crying to another room. He then gives the brothers a meal and gives them grain to take with them. He orders his servants to place his silver goblet in Benjamin's pack. After the brothers leave, he sends his servants to run after them, accusing them of stealing his goblet. The portion ends in the peak of the drama, when the goblet is found in Benjamin's pack and the brothers realize that he will be detained. The brothers tell Joseph that they will all be slaves, but he refuses and says he would not take the brothers for a crime that is not theirs. He will only detain Benjamin. It is important to note that Miketz is the portion which is always read on the Sabbath which occurs during the yearly festival of Hanukkah. So have a happy Hanukkah, and we hope to see you again next week. Have a great week.